It's taken me 3 years to understand these things and fully internalize them. I used to constantly be in drawdown, pennies away from blowing my account, until I rewired my mind to understand these 3 things about trading. In this video, I'll be explaining not only how I rewired my mind, but how you guys can rewire your minds as well to become profitable traders, partial funded accounts, and enter your success. First thing, and the most important thing, is stop strategy hopping. When you're a new trader, you constantly want to know the newest strategy, the latest strategy, or maybe your favorite influencer strategy. But what you've got to realize is that this works for them because of their schedule and the type of person they are. Their strategy most likely won't work for you. Yes, you can take bits out of it, little elements out of it, but at the end of the day, you need to get enough data in the markets, backtest enough times to see what works for you. Not only that, but fit your schedule, because a lot of us who are now becoming profitable and successful traders work 9 to 5s, or we're in school and we're busy. So we don't have as much free times as these multi-millionaire traders might have. So you've got to find something that works for you and stick with it. Backtest it repeatedly, gain that data, constantly analyze the markets, so that you know that you have your edge and you can execute when you see your edge. Now, this is not to say that you're going to be one and done, you're going to find the one strategy and stick with it. No. But what I want you guys to stop doing is seeking that dopamine of finding a new strategy, thinking that this is going to be your breakthrough, this is how you're going to make money. No. Already by thinking like that, you're in the wrong frame of mind. What you need to think of your strategy as is a system which allows you to be profitable. It is not about how well it can make you money, but how refined that system is and how accurate that system is, because the money will follow. At the end of the day, if you think about all the big companies, Apple didn't just get money because they had a great idea. No, they built a system behind that idea which then allowed the money to flow through. The money wasn't the priority, it was the system, and the money followed. So what I want you guys to do is that if you've got a strategy right now, I want you to stick with it, and I want you to backtest it for minimum 2 months, day in, day out. Go back in the markets, test out this data to see whether the strategy works for you. And what will happen is that you will then start to refine that strategy. You start to take little bits out that aren't necessary and put little bits in that are necessary. And you'll start to see this through repetition that your strategy is becoming more and more concrete. And then that's when the profitability starts to come. That was the first way I rewired my mind to start seeing progress. Now here's the second way, by having an abundant mindset. What you've got to realize is that the market presents opportunities day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out. So you don't have to constantly find a setup every day. A lot of the times we want to be stuck to our computer like this, constantly looking for an opportunity to see the market give us, to validate that we're doing something right. Whereas the best traders are the ones who are able to sit out of the markets and retain their capital. It's not just about making money, but it's also about capital retention. You have to be able to keep your losses low and keep your wins high. So that comes from understanding that the market's constantly going to bless you with opportunities. And if you don't see your edge and you don't see your strategy, don't trade. There's no need for you to trade, because all you're doing is you're taking a gamble. You're not trading with logic, you're trading with emotion. And that's what makes traders either blow their accounts, lose money, or stop trading entirely. And by becoming abundant in nature, you'll realize that staying on the markets for a long time is not it, and you really don't want to be. When I'm on the markets, I have set windows. I'm on the markets max 2 hours a day when I trade, because I know what times I'm meant to trade, and I know if the market doesn't present me an opportunity, I'm going to sit back and do other things in my life, focus on other endeavors that I'm going into. At the end of the day, we trade for freedom. So if you're constantly stuck to the market 16 hours a day, does that look like freedom to you? No, that's not freedom, that's slavery. You're a slave to the markets, thinking that the market owes you something when the market doesn't owe you shit. What the market rewards is the patient and people that stick to their structure. If you're constantly stuck in the markets, what you're doing is you're looking for the market to validate you, to let you know that yes, all these hours that you sat in front of the screen is paid off. And in actuality, that shouldn't be the case. What you should do is be able to validate yourself and know that, okay, cool, I've got these specific times that I trade. I'm not going to look at the charts before these times or after these times. I'm only going to look at the charts in my set window when I mark up, take my trades and I execute. Once you execute, that's it. You close your laptop for the day and get about your business. Do whatever else you need to do. But this abundant mindset doesn't just apply to trading. And this goes into my next point, is that trading reflects your life. If you're an undisciplined person and you're somebody who doesn't follow what you're meant to do, follow your structure day in, day out, the markets will reflect that. And when you go into the markets, you may know your edge, you may know what you're meant to do, but the minute you see the price candles start moving, emotions start kicking in, and then you start not focusing on your edge and you start focusing on making money. And that's when it all goes left. That's when you actually stop making money. When you think about the money, that's when you lose the money. However, when you focus on your structure, your strategy, what you're meant to do, everything that you have in place, the money will follow. And there's one important thing I want you guys to look into, and that's the universal law of attraction. You need to become the type of person that attracts money. You've got to be deserving of money. You've got to become a money magnet so that money can't be without you. Money has to be with you because it's in such safe hands with you. You've got to think of money as a woman. You've got to take care of it. You've got to nurture it. You've got to respect it. You've got to have structure. You've got to be disciplined to keep that money, to keep that woman. And if you're not disciplined, for instance, in a relationship, if you're not disciplined within your lust, you're gonna end up cheating on your woman. You're not gonna keep her. That's the same with money, and that's the same with trading. If you're not disciplined in trading, you're gonna let greed, all these emotions get to you, and what's gonna happen? The money's gonna run away from you. You're gonna end up losing that money. The money may be in your grasp for just a little bit, but it won't last permanently. And what we're trying to do is that we're trying to attain permanent freedom for the rest of our life, that will carry on until we're 90 years old, that our kids can have and our kids' kids can have. And even recently, there were bad habits that were still holding me back. And I can see that the minute I'll take a loss in trading, it will make me revert into those bad habits. And this was because I wasn't allowing my life to reflect into my trading. So I became impulsive in my trades. I became impatient in my trades. I wasn't waiting for my setups. I wasn't allowing market to present the right opportunities for me. And when that didn't happen, I became inches away from blowing my funded account. It was only when I realized that I need to not only get rid of these habits, but implement structure into my life so that I have a concrete base of when I go into the markets, I know I need to do this, and I'm a disciplined enough person to carry these out. And even if I take a loss, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because I know that that doesn't define the type of person I am. That doesn't define the type of trader I am. All that is a lesson for me to take into the next day, the next week, and the next month. And constantly, what you're gonna do, you're gonna keep on stacking these lessons. And what they'll start to do, they'll start to become smaller and smaller until these lessons and losses are minimal. And all you're going to be doing is receiving profit, because you're the type of person that deserves that profit, the type of person that attracts that money and deserves that money. And I'm not gonna lie, these are 3 hard truths that I really had to face. I've been trading since January 2023, and that's 3 years now. And it's taken me 3 years to understand these things and fully internalize them. So guys, don't think that it's gonna come within 1 month. It's gonna come within 2 months, come within 3 months. Forget the time and just immerse yourself in the process. And when you do that, you'll realize that things start to come quicker than you actually realize. So these were the 3 ways I rewired my mind to not only start seeing progress in trading, but to actually become a profitable trader. So if this video helped you, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, because I'm going to be doing more videos like this, helping you guys out in your journeys. Not only that, but keeping you guys updated in my journey so you can see the progress I'm making and see me enter my success. Love you lot.